Dallas Cowboys ironically had a better offseason than they did last year, but they still are on the losing side of things. The longer you wait for Micah Parsons to sign him, the more expensive that deal gets. Max Crosby got $35 million. Myles Garrett got $40 million a year. So Micah Parsons, yeah, Jerry Jones, cheap ass, is continuing to let his deal get more and more expensive. This team, once again, didn't get any better. Their head coach search, the beginning of the offseason was just terrible. You tried to prevent the Bears from interviewing Mike McCarthy only just to let Mike McCarthy just walk. Didn't make any damn sense. And then you hire your OC. Terrible hire. The way they conducted that search, they made people think Deion Sanders was going to be a candidate, and then just you hire your OC. Nobody conducted their coaching search as bad as the Cowboys did and Jerry Jones did. It was a here damn ass head coach hire. You look at the moves they did make. I think Jack Sanborn, he's going to be a solid linebacker for them. He's reuniting with Matt Eberflus. I think him as a starting linebacker, he can be really good in the NFL. Just really, behind TJ Edwards, Tremaine Edmonds. When he was out there, 17 games, he got his opportunity to get, starting, be the main guy out there when the Bears were really bad that one season in the rebuilding year. On the first rebuilding year of Ryan Poles' tenure, he had a good season. He was making 10, 15 tackles a game. So I think Matt Eberflus knows Jack Sanborn. He knows what he's capable of, and I think we'll see Jack Sanborn have a big season in Dallas. That's probably one of their best signings. Bringing back Dante Fowler Jr. too, a guy that had 10.5 sacks last year with the Commanders. One of the big reasons why their pass rush was pretty decent. It wasn't the worst in the NFL. He carried that pass rush. So bringing him back in Dallas with Micah Parsons makes a lot of sense. He replaces DeMarcus Lawrence. Funny thing about DeMarcus Lawrence, what he said, he knew he wasn't going to win the Super Bowl in Dallas, so he had to move out. Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence got into a little back and forth on social media, and just seeing people say stuff like that, a long tenure player like DeMarcus Lawrence for the Cowboys, whether Micah Parsons and these other players will agree or not, that culture's cooked. That team is never going to win anything, regardless of how talented they are. But it's just the off seasons they continue to have year after year, after getting bounced in the playoffs, after having disastrous losses in the playoffs. They do nothing, essentially. I mean, Eric Kendricks was their only signing last year in free agency. They didn't sign Derrick Henry. They didn't want to give him money, and he went on to the Baltimore Ravens and almost had 2,000 yards. Could have been in the sweepstakes for Cooper Kupp, but we know they wanted to be cheap and not get any money. So CeeDee Lamb is literally that, nice car in that trash-ass house. Defensively, they'll probably be decent, but yeah, I'm not too high on this Cowboys team. I think once again, they'll miss the playoffs. I mean, Javonte Williams, a one-year deal when you could have just brought back Rico. Rico was way better than Javonte Williams with a worse situation. Javonte Williams with the Denver Broncos, he had one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, and Rico Dowdle was one of the best parts of this offense for the Cowboys last year. He had multiple 100-yard performances towards the end of the last season. 4 100-yard rushing games. 3 of them were in 3 straight weeks. 149 yards against Carolina, 131 on 18 carries against the Bengals, and 112 against the Giants. Pretty decent defensive line with the Giants. So he was productive as hell. Why replace him when he went over to the Panthers, signed for pennies, and bring in Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams? Moves like that make you question your fandom with the Dallas Cowboys. And people on the outside just laugh at your organization. It doesn't make sense. And Jerry Jones keeps taking these flyers on these first round busts that their team don't want, that their team doesn't want them. Kenneth Murray, he was bad with the Chargers. He was bad with the Titans. Jonathan Mingo, you gave up a 4th round pick. More than, the Chiefs gave up to get D-Hop. More than other teams got, Amari Cooper to the Bills wasn't a 4th round pick. So it's just head scratcher move after head scratcher move. This team is cooked. The Giants, that defense looks pretty good. They could be decent. They could be a lot better than the Cowboys. The Cowboys could be looking at the worst team in this division. The Commanders are already going to be better than them. The Eagles just won the Super Bowl last year. You look at the NFC East, 2 of the top teams in the NFC East were in the NFC Championship game. So that shows you where things are looking for the Cowboys. It's going to be a shitty year for them. And, Dak Prescott, he's going to elevate this team a little more. They'll probably play a little better. But in terms of competing for the division, potentially getting in the playoffs, I don't see it for this Cowboys team. Some people thought the NFC North was going to be the worst division in football this season. They thought it was going to be as bad as the NFC South.